Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zip with you tonight. I am fired up because we have Mike with Textrp, and as I've been discussing for the last couple of weeks, this is the collaborative environment that lives on the XRPL and that I have set up, and just to be able to continue the communication, the collaboration as we journey through this environment. But excited to have you on tonight, Mike, where you can highlight all of the great work that you're doing with Textrp and highlight the environment. How you doing tonight, brother?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm always happy to share, what we're doing at Textrp because I know a lot of people know about Textrp, at least if they're around on X at all, around XRP. But not many people actually know what Textrp is all about. They think we're just text messaging or something. So it is always nice when I get a chance to showcase what we can really do. So,
Yeah, thank you for being on. And it's funny you mentioned that because that's initially what I thought. Honestly, I being out on X and learning about different things, I'd seen Textrp, and immediately in my mind, that's kind of what I established it as, just a texting protocol. And then when I started digging in a little bit more and I saw you were on Dipito, or Will was on Dipito, I believe it was, and found out a little bit more about it, I was like, wow, there's a lot more involved here. And we're going to talk about that tonight and the growth and other things coming down the pike.
yes.
But yeah, as we get into it, how about your story? How did you get into crypto and walk into this world of Textrp?
Yeah. So, I'm a software engineer by day. And back in December of last year, kind of like right after the big pump that XRP had, a friend of mine, or I shouldn't really say a friend of mine, an old friend of mine from high school, reached out to me knowing that I had, a tech background now and wanted me, or just asked like, hey, you want to build something cool on the XRP ledger? And I was like, man, I don't know about that crypto stuff. Like, I feel like it's all a scam. Like I had never done any of my own research. I just kind of listened to the talking heads. Not like I don't know if you're familiar with CoffeeZilla. Like I just would see a video from him on YouTube about the various scams, and I was just like, okay, it's probably not something I want to deal with. While the technology I think always was kind of interesting, I never really did any research. But for some reason, I was just like, sure, let's. I was bored, I guess, at my day job. I was just like, let's do something new, and so I started doing my own research into XRP, and pretty quickly realized that the technology behind the crypto was not a scam, even though there was there were actors that were taking advantage of it for that case, right? But
Sure.
there's also actors that take advantage of cash for that too. So, I think there's always going to be a that element to any financial system. So, yeah, it's not really a reason to avoid it as an innovator, right?
And that's
So,
anything. That's
yeah,
anything, right, Mike? I mean,
exactly,
you can use it for good, you can use it for bad. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. There's always
exactly.
bad actors involved.
Exactly. And that's why when I was doing my research, reading the documentation, and I think the XRP Foundation has like a course you can actually take that spells it all out for you at a technical level. And yeah, I started building, little trading bots, just various things to, track the price, see if I can place, little shorts and stuff, and that kind of thing. And then I was like, I kind of want to start building or working on a real like utility, something that's going to actually not just benefit the XRP ledger, but could benefit like crypto in general and the world, right? So I just kind of started lurking on X and discovered a community day space on X that was being done by Ripple. And I was just in the audience, and Will popped up on the stage, and started doing his pitch about Textrp, and I was just like, what? Like if you introduce communication into like a financial system, like that, just like, I don't know, you just remove of the middleman, like, and pretty much all scenarios, you allow for parties to do business. Like that's the point of crypto, right? Is to facilitate payments. Well, what are payments for? Usually
Yep.
for a service or a product. So
Exactly.
when you're facilitating a service, you want to be able to communicate and verify the person you're dealing with and paying is the person, that you're talking to. So I was just like, the use cases were just exploding, and I was just like, man, I need to talk to this guy, Will, and see if I can help. Because I'm still very new, and at that time was super new. I guess I'm super new still, right? But I just kind of I just sent him a message, and I was like, hey, I have a background in software development. If you need any help on the technical side of things, just let me know. And I even sent him a link to my resume because like I don't care. Like I'm not hiding anything. I'm doxxed. Like I have my main wallet is literally on my X profile. Like I'm not, I'm making sure people are aware that my intentions are in the right place. Like I dabble a little bit in some meme coins, but I'm not betting the house on any of them. I got like $20 here, $20 there. Nothing crazy, but
Right.
all of that to come back to say that I was at first very anti-meme, very utility driven. As I've been at Textrp, and part of what I've been doing at Textrp is trying to onboard communities to use our platform, right? And so I've been talking to these communities and finding out that, well, yes, like we've discussed a little bit, there are some bad actors, but most of these communities that are behind these meme tokens are like genuinely, they believe in their community and the token that they're representing. And, like Sigma at the Vegas, at XRP Vegas, they had an entire after party, which was really cool. I got to go to that. But just the fact that a meme token community hosted a party at the Hard Rock Cafe, like it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, it's meme. Unfortunately, meme tokens, coins, whatever you like to call them, they get such a bad rap because there's been so many rug pulls, right? But like anything, can be used for good, can be used for bad.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
a lot of the XRP community, and the meme projects that I've seen, they're holistic, and they want to build utility on the XRPL, and at the heart of it, they're all good folks.
Exactly. They're well-intentioned people. Like, I don't know if you are familiar with the Florida Man Landscaping, that meme community. They have an incredible story. I won't ruin if you ever want to talk to them, you should hear their story. But that is a community that I heard about early on, and I was just like, wow. Like,
and you said that's the Florida Landman?
Florida Man Landscaping. Yeah.
Florida Man Landscaping. I'll have to check. I'm not familiar with them, but this is the great thing about this environment. You meet new folks, you're networking, you build a community, you find another community. And at the end of the day, in this environment, it's all on the XRPL, which is even cooler. I'm a huge XRP fan, and but I'm diversified, as you know my backstory. But I look for utility. I don't hate Bitcoin or anything like that, but I'm looking for utility that was going to change the world. And that's why when I saw this project out here and I learned more about it and talked to you the first time, I'm like, this is legit.
Yeah, man. And that was the same feeling I had the first time I heard Will talk about it, and it's funny because sometimes will listen to me talk about Textrp on a call, and he'll be like, man, where do I sign? I'm just like, you're so funny. But the thing is, we don't, I think the reason why I bring up these other communities is because, while they may not have a utility to their token yet, and Florida Man Landscaping is one that I would say they're working on their own real world utilities. And so that's why I want you to talk to them. But, we can provide these communities with utility for their tokens by giving them, we can talk about this when we get to the M credits purchasing, but there's an option for tokens to be used to purchase our native credit that we use to track engagement, right? So
Right.
that provides their token a utility that it didn't have before. I have a large majority of NFTs from this one collection called the Degen droids. I've really liked the droids because when I was a kid, I loved Star Wars. And so it just really hit home with me. And so I even have a custom Degen droid that is actually General Grievous. But yeah, so the artist behind that originally decided the collection was going to be like 1,598 pieces. And I jokingly one day I minted the 5,009, or I'm sorry, misspoke, the 598th NFT. And because I had to, right? It's 598 or 589. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was 589. So I minted that one, let him know. And he was like, all right, that's it. I'm shutting the mint down. And so he cut the supply by 60%. And I was like, you know what? Because you did that, I'm going to make this NFT a feature pack NFT on Textrp. So now anybody in that collection can go on Textrp and use audio and video calls. So
very nice.
Yeah, man. So just providing utilities to NFTs as well, which is really cool.
Very good. Very good. Great story. And that's what I love to hear in this community, because everyone has a very distinctive story. And a lot of times they all lead to the same endpoint, relationships. Yep. And if you're a techie and a developer or whatever, you end up building within the environment. And it's just such a holistic space. That's why I love the environment so much.
Yeah. I was going to a space regularly, and I've been pretty busy with my new job lately, but I was going to a space regularly during the week called Coffee and Crypto with Stone.
Yep,
prior to Vegas, right? So I met Stone in person. He actually lives a couple miles away from me, but a lot of the people that I was talking to on those spaces, I didn't really know them, right? I kind of knew their voice and stuff, but I didn't know them from anybody. But when I went to Vegas and I put faces to the name on X and the voice, like Optimistic, meeting her was crazy. I don't know if you know her, but all these other people that I interact with on the regular basis on X, meeting them and just solidifying their existence, that the dead internet theory isn't real. Right?
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah. The meetups are absolutely the best. I've only been able to go to a couple here where I live. Yeah. I haven't been out to Vegas yet, but yes, it's the same. What you're describing is the same experience. You hear these people, whether they're, content creators or people that you're talking to on X, you build these relationships. And then when you meet them face to face, it just opens up the environment so much more. And they're generally the same exact people.
Yes.
And you learn so much more about them. And it's just the family. And what's being created here is more than kind of what we discussed previously before we started the video. It's more than just the money. I tell the folks, obviously, we all came here for the money.
Absolutely.
And I believe we're all going to receive great profits within this environment, especially as we're seeing, today we saw a little explosion with Bitcoin hitting a significant all-time highs, and XRP and the Hederas, the H-bars, all the stuff, all the coins that I love and projects. But it's more than just that. It's the relationships that after we become filthy rich, we got to have someone that we resonate with so we can spend the rest of our time on the most beautiful beaches of the world and anything else that we love to do, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny you brought up the H bar, and just the random, meeting of people and kind of all in the same breath. But when I was in Vegas, at that Sigma after party, um, I was standing out on a balcony and a guy kind of came up to me and was, we were just kind of chatting. And next thing I know, find out he's a fighter on the Karate Fight Network.
Oh yeah,
And he also fights on for H bar as well. And but he also works with Circularity Finance and XDC, and so they, have been a big help since after Vegas with helping us kind of get other things going in the business side of things, with potential partnerships, and it's just amazing to think that all of that happened because of a conversation on a balcony at an after party, like
wild. Wild. That's how wild the world is. That's what makes it so beautiful. And
right.
and what I found within this community too, it's the mindset, right? I'm a big mindset person, and just keeping that positivity and that positive momentum opens up numerous doors of opportunity, just like you just spoke to,
Right.
and that's what's so phenomenal about it, beyond the getting rich piece of it,
Yeah,
but
that'll come in time.
100%, brother, 100%. Well, all right, great, man. Well, how about we jump into talking about Textrp?
Sure.
And I guess the easiest place to start, obviously, so you folks see, we're inside the app here already. So how do we get into Textrp, Mike? And what's the environment that gets us into this application?
Yeah, so to get into TextRP, you first go to app.textrp.io, and it'll prompt you to log in with. You can also come to this website here and hit connect now, which will take you to app.textrp.io. And that'll prompt you to log in with your Zamen wallet. And we use Zamen, and we only support Zamen. And the main reason is because they have the infrastructure to support the basically the protocols of Web 2. Our TextRP platform is not a new product, and by any means, we're not reinventing the wheel here. It's like 90% Web 2, 10% Web 3. So we are using Zamen because they have their own identity provider, and so you're going to log in with your wallet as your identity. And so we're not consuming your phone number, your email, your name, your address. We don't need any of that information for you to log in. You just sign that simple transaction on Zamen to verify that you own the address, and then you'll be asked to create a display name, and then you'll be in on TextRP, and then your TextRP will be pretty blank, but you'll have the ability to explore rooms. There's a button next to that search bar that actually, it looks like a compass. That actually allows you to see the public rooms that exist. And so we have some communities that are already on TextRP. There's our headquarters room if you want to get a hold of us. There's our collaboration chat if you want to, talk to us about doing any kind of collaborations. And then there's our other communities that have been here since the beginning, kind of helping us beta test, if you will, that you can join their channels as well. You can also create your own rooms and spaces. So the way I like to talk about it is, people have, we compare it to Discord, I guess, is the easiest comparison. On Discord, you have a channel, right? And inside a channel, you have, do they call them rooms? I don't know. But on TextRP, we have spaces, and inside spaces, you have rooms. So you can create your own space. And inside that space, you can have multiple rooms. You can have a room from another space in your room. There's, if it's a public space, that is. or public
Right.
room, I should say. But yeah, you can, it's like very customizable. So if you go back as well, yeah.
So, Mike, before we get to, let's walk back just a little bit with the
Sure.
getting into the environment, because for my content, I'm very security conscious, right?
Sure.
There's so many
Totally.
scams and stuff out there. Not that this is one, but people are very nervous sometimes connect with the connection, right, from the wallet. So would you suggest, is it okay just to create a blank wallet, a Zamin wallet,
Yeah.
to maybe utilize for this environment? And you only need one XRP right now to have that,
Yeah.
you know, Zamin wallet.
So no, I'm glad you bring this up, because I usually do tell people a part of the login, you know, before you connect your wallet, not that there's anything nefarious going on here, but just as a general good practice is create a second wallet that you use for social activity, whether that be connecting to, you know, any website that you're using, you know, to connect Zamin through, just for the off chance that they end up like their website is for somehow compromised. You know, that's out of your control. The best thing you can do is create an extra layer that you can control, and that's creating a second wallet, right? So they don't have direct access to all of your funds, just whatever you have at, you know, in that one wallet. So yeah, I do suggest creating a play wallet, social wallet, whatever you want to call it, you know, and keep minimum amount of XRP or whatever token, you know, and just use what you need when you need it. So, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, I personally use my main wallet on Textrp. So if you look at my Textrp user and pull the wallet up, it's my personal wallet. So I don't follow my own advice, but that's because I trust my platform. So
Understand that it's just one of those levels of entry, because we have a lot of new folks and stuff like that. So I'm always
totally
speaking to being very cautious. Don't keep your crypto on the exchanges, all the things that are synonymous that we talk about. And I just wanted to mention that so people understood. Yeah, you can just create a new Zamin wallet and put one XRP in it. It's activated, and then you can come into this environment and you can collaborate and play all day and, you know, feel secure, more secure, maybe. Like you said, there's nothing nefarious or anything like that, but it's just one of those mental things that just, it'll set you maybe at ease a little bit more as you're becoming familiar with crypto, especially if you're brand new.
Yeah. And the second step after you log in with your wallet too is you'll be prompted with creating your encryption key to back up your messages, basically. So there's kind of like a two-step login process where you log in with your wallet, which is your identity, and then you verify your session with a password that you can create, or you can auto-generate one. But that password basically decrypts your messages from your previous sessions. So and that kind of is an extra layer of security, right? So if you, for whatever reason, if let's say your wallet gets compromised and somebody logs in with your wallet on Textrp, they still need your encryption password to read all your messages, right? So they at least won't have access to all your messages on Textrp, and you can, you know, clear the wallet out before they have access to your funds, hopefully. But
another level of security, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why if you're looking here and you're wondering, see where it says unable to decrypt message, it was an old session that I'd had. I didn't load the same security key coming into this session here, but that shows you the beauty of this. Really, it protects you. It protects the communities as well. For anybody that's not techie and not familiar with, you know, security keys and encryption, that's what Mike is speaking to there, but very easy. And Mike, correct me if I'm wrong or not. Like my entry, Mike was talking a minute ago about the spaces. So I created the ZipStip crypto space, and I have multiple rooms within that. I have what I call an entry or an onboarding room. I've left this one unencrypted.
Okay.
But my point to it is you have the availability, the tools
You
within
have the
here.
option. Yep.
Yeah, you can encrypt the room, you can decrypt the room, you can have it set up and established any way that you want. It's really up to the owner as far as how they want to handle it.
And I think honestly, freedom of choice at the end of the day is one of my core values personally. Especially in this part of life, just being able to decide whether you want to have your messages encrypted, or in this channel, maybe you don't. You also have the ability, if you share a wallet, let's say you share a wallet with, your family for some reason, you can have different session keys. And so you can all share the same wallet as an identity, but you won't be able to read each other's messages.
There's another level of security if you want.
Yeah.
Yep. If you want the privacy or need the privacy, right? If you're sharing the wallet.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I know, and I've seen couples that share, social media accounts. So there's the potential. I mean,
Right.
generally, if they're doing that, they're probably going to share encryption keys too.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they would.
So, any other questions about the login process before the first time I wanted to talk about the M credits next. So before, if you had any questions, I'll jump.
No, I think we got through the login. I just wanted to, again, make sure we spoke to the security piece of it. So
you had good points. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. The first time you guys log in, you will receive 10 of our M credits. And that is kind of to let you try before you buy anymore, right? So 10 M credits, I believe, is good for 200 or 400 messages. My math's probably off. I think
it's 200. If
200. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's plenty of messages to try it out, and decide if you want to continue using it by buying more M credits. I guess we can go ahead and talk about the buying M credits. That makes sense now. So if you click your user, there's that buy M credits tab. So M credits are not a cryptocurrency. They're just a arbitrary credit, if you will. If you're familiar with using any of the ChatGPT or any of those platforms, they use credits. It's similar. Every feature on our platform has a weight of engagement that we use to track with our M credits. So you can, when you get lower on M credits, you can purchase more. So like a bundle of, let's say you picked 1,000, that's $25. And so that's like 20,000 messages.
Very reasonable. Very reasonable.
Pretty reasonable. If you use XRP, you're going to pay $25 in XRP and get, 1,000 of those credits. If you use our utility token, TXT, you actually get a bonus of 100 M credits, which is like a bonus of 20, or I don't know, something crazy, 20,000 messages. But so that is essentially the purpose of our utility token. So I haven't even brought it up until just now. And the main reason is because we don't use it to prop up our company's value. It's there if people want to use it to buy M credits. That's pretty much it. We also have the opportunity for other communities, a meme token or a serious token can approach us and offer, we can offer to have their token as an option to purchase M credits and potentially provide a bonus of M credits as well. So that provides their token a utility, if you will. That essentially covers the M credits purchasing.
Mike, how would someone go about getting the TXT token?
Sure. That's a great question. Our TXT token is available on any of the decentralized exchanges. Like if you're on Zamin, you can go to the Magnetic app and look up TXT. and you'll find our purple logo there. So you can set a trust line there and purchase the token. And then yeah, I mean, you can also get on XP Market, so any of those apps that you can add tokens. I believe even let me actually check, because Zaman has updated their token search lately. You might be able to add it through, like, just straight on the main Zaman page. I think, yeah, there's an ecosystem tab, and then you can probably just search TXT. Yep, Textrp Textcoin.
Okay, perfect. Just in case anybody was out there wondering how to get hold of that token. So multiple venues there, obviously right from the Zaman app. Yep.
I don't know if that'll focus well enough. Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of coming in and out.
And then the glare wasn't helping.
But I think folks are familiar, especially if you have a Zaman wallet, you're familiar enough with how to use that app.
Yeah.
But yeah, because some folks may not want to get rid of their precious XRP, so they may want to just go out and
exactly. And that's the thing. You can be like, oh, well, let me put in a little limit order on this TXT so I can get a good deal on some in credits next time I need it or something. You never know.
Absolutely.
People were asking me all the time in Vegas, what's the market cap of your token? And I'd be like, it's like 100. It's like 100K. It's like in the relativity of meme coins, it's nothing, but it's a utility token. So
right.
But yeah, so it's not expensive or anything like that. But the thing is, when you come in here, you're always paying in US dollars. You're never paying, in an amount of tokens, so you're always going to be paying in the value of the token, I guess. So yeah, you could get some TXT for now, and then maybe later it'll be worth more. Who knows?
All right. Very good. Thanks for answering that.
So if you, so up there next to the M credits, because we're logging in with your wallet as your identity, and you're communicating with other wallets, it just makes sense to add in this in-chat payment element. So let's say you're talking to your tax guy who has now become a crypto tax guy. And so you're in a room on Textrp, and he's like, all right, well, before we go any further, you need to send me X amount of XRP. So you go in here, you pick him in the list, you put in your amount of XRP. You can choose to show the payment in the chat to just add an extra layer of visibility. And if you do that, it'll actually provide a link to the transaction on an Explorer. So it shows the validated transaction on Ledger.
Nice. And
so, yeah, that's just one way to utilize the chat to provide a layer of interoperable, basically implementing the ledger here on our chat. Because everything you've seen so far has just been Web2 stuff, so outside of buying M credits with XRP or TXT, everything's just been Web2, right? So this is where we kind of start to add our Web3 element. So now you're communicating with each other. Maybe you want to buy an NFT from somebody and they just want a ridiculous amount of XRP, and you're just like, well, maybe I can talk this guy off, or maybe it's not an NFT, maybe it's something else, anything.
Sure.
But
some other service or anything.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's really the purpose of that. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I think it's really powerful anytime you can incorporate communication. I mean, I would use like on Messenger for Facebook, they had, or they still have, payments that you can send between each other, but it's from like bank accounts, right? So it's not ideal, but it works. But this works much better.
And it's faster.
Yeah, it's faster. Right? But yeah, so that is a base feature that comes with you don't need anything else to use in-chat payments or messaging. As long as you have M credits, you can message and pay each other. And I'm pretty sure paying people on our platform, I'm pretty sure that does not cost any M credits, though if it does, it'll be on the website that we were on at the beginning. There's a chart there that shows all of the M credit burns and how they're weighted. But next to that button, where the XRP logo is, you'll see there's a tap to call and tap to video call button. And so what those buttons are, so you don't have the feature pack NFT, which is totally fine.
Correct.
But what basically, this is great because this shows when you log in for the first time, you won't have these features available to you unless you just happen to own a feature pack NFT, because we have our own feature pack NFTs, that people can purchase and then sell if they don't want to use the feature anymore. But we also have partnered communities that, we'd be like, there's an X meme NFT collection that unlocks tap to call. The DGen Droid NFT collection unlocks both tap to call and video call in both of the bridges, so there's a variety. But if I can show you, and we can show the viewers, if you go to where you were going to buy credits, there's a feature pack button there. Feature packs. Yeah. And so you go to available, and this will load the list of all of the NFTs that you can go purchase somewhere and come back and they'll unlock some features for you. I think this interface isn't my favorite because it's not very good at telling you what features they unlock. So, but I can tell you most of them. Anyways, if you scroll down to the bottom, I know I can tell you like the DGen Droid one because I just added that one, right? So like this NFT collection unlocks several of the features, but essentially this provides NFT collections a bit of a utility because most of them don't have any utility, right? So they can incentivize their community members to come to this platform and use these features that, while they could continue to use similar features on another application like Telegram or WhatsApp or Discord, those kind of come with a catch that I don't think a lot of people consider most of the time, which is the privacy that you give up to use those. Telegram may be one of the better ones, to be honest, but they're not a Web3 friendly application. Like none of them are. They're not built with Web3 in mind. So, we try to get these communities to come over here and basically see that vision. But we also have bridges to basically provide the ability to bring your messages from one place over to this place, right? So we have some feature pack NFTs that unlock those as well. So there's if you scroll up a little more, so like there's the Discord bridge feature pack. So that one unlocks the Discord bridge bot. So this bot, you go into it. It's not the most user-friendly experience right now. I'll admit the setting up of both of them, the X bridge and the Discord bridge. It needs some work as far as how you connect it. But if you can get through the steps, you can connect your Discord to your Textrp. And the theory is that you can continue communicating in Discord using Textrp, which will end up using your M credits. But our plan is, in the very near future, is to have a system so that your engagement on our platform is tracked and basically gamified against everyone else on the platform. Because our monetization model isn't based on user data. It's just based on engagement.
Mhm.
So the more engagement we have, the more in credit usage we have, the more in credits people are going to end up having to buy, right? So that's the whole business model. There's nothing more to it. So we want to incentivize engagement by basically providing a reward system. So every time you buy M credits, a portion of that goes into a pot, and then that pot will be divvied out on we haven't decided on a time yet, but let's say a weekly basis. So based on your engagement in a week against everyone else, you'll get paid out in our utility token. And so you can use that utility token, or you can hold it, or you can buy more M credits, that kind of thing. And that should, our goal is to incentivize engagement through that way. Incentivize communities to bring their people over here. When you communicate through a bridge, it burns M credits. So you can continue communicating in the same places you've already been communicating in, but now you're actually going to get rewarded for that engagement because you're doing it on Textrp. So that's the plan. And that kind of talks about a future feature, which is our reward system, which is not currently in development, but it's being planned, and we're hoping to have it rolled out by the end of the year. It's just like we're getting started on that as soon as we roll out our next two features, which I can talk about immediately, which is token gating and our own native NFT marketplace. So another thing that our platform offers is widgets, and widgets give channels or these rooms the ability to embed like miniature DeFi apps, web apps, anything you want really. And we have a GitHub repository that I stripped down a widget into a template that is public, so anybody can take it, and then you can plug it into an AI if you're not a coder, right, and ask it to modify it to whatever you want. Or if you're somebody who has coding experience, you can kind of dissect it and see how it's working and build your own widget, right? But essentially what widgets can do, if you use the template, you can interact with the room that the web app's being opened in. So that gives you the ability to, one, automatically get the wallet of the person who's opening the app. And if you give the permission, like the user gives the permissions to the widget, you can get all of the members of the room as well. So when you open the widget for the first time, it'll present you with a list of the permissions the widget's asking for, and you have to approve those, right? So there won't be any surprises there. But essentially what we wanted to do is give developers an easy way to build Web3 tools, or specifically for XRPL, tools for their community, games, things that are interactive, and kind of since you're already logged in with Zaman once, why make you log in with Zaman again to use a widget, right? So we're kind of bypassing that login step again. So the widget is already aware of who you are when you opened it, and then it's aware of all the people in the room, right? So I don't know if you want to open the widget. Oh, well, you can. Here, actually, I'm going to send you in this chat. I'm going to send you the command. You can put this in that room you got right there, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like when you add a widget.
Okay. Back to this chat right here, Mike, right?
Or you can put it in the room that you were just in with your folks.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't anything secret or anything. You're welcome to use it. But yeah, so if you can copy and paste that into the chat there, or send message bar. So it's
Where did you send me a message? I don't see it if you did.
Sorry. Yeah, I sent it to you in the private chat here of the was the StreamYard?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah, if I can't send this to you in Textrp because it would try to add a widget.
Just right there, right?
Yep.
Like that?
And did you get the add widget portion first too? So there's add, it's / add widget and then the URL.
Yep. Let me get that cleaned up.
No worries.
Doing this on the live, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And then just enter.
Yeah, and just send it. This adds a widget to the room. So look, custom widget added by, and this is, I'm just showing too, as a developer, we're not asking you to jump through any hoops to build widgets. You know, you can create a web app that uses the template and host it like this is hosted with Vercel. And, you know, so you'll open the widget for the first time. It'll prompt you with the permissions, which we're asking who's in the room and who are you. And now this is telling you that the widget needs to be registered because right now it's just showing up as a custom widget. But we have inside the web app itself, there's some actual registration information.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. And then so now you can close it. And this only has to be done the first time. Widgets, and now it shows up as the Textrp spin to win widget. So yeah, this is just an example, right? So had a community that wanted to build a wheel spin tool to give out giveaways, and so this is kind of just a proof of concept that shows like in just a little bit of effort you can build something like this for your community. And it'll save you so much time. See, coded it so that you win. And
coded it so I would win every time, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so it's just little things like this that, you know, you could probably build something like this on Telegram, but I doubt you would be able to get all the wallets of all the users in the room, you know, this easily. You know, so, you know, this is kind of a playful widget, but there's so many other things you can do. You know, if you're in a serious, let's say you're in a more serious situation where you're in a group of people who are all holding a token and you all have a lot of responsibility holding that token. You know, maybe you want a widget that is keeping tabs on everybody's holdings, making sure nobody's, you know, moving stuff around, you know, like some kind of bubble map maybe. You know, all of those possibilities are there. The possibilities are limitless, I should say. You know, anything you can think of.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So all of this is on your roadmap of things that you and Will and the company is working on.
Yeah. So this was kind of to lead into the token gating, because that is a widget that will be native to every room. So every room will kind of come preloaded with this token gate widget, so that if you choose as an admin of your room, you can set rules to, you know, kind of lock down your room beyond just being private. You know, maybe you want to keep your room public, but when people join it, they are presented with, hey, in order to be in this room, you have to have X NFT or this many of this token, you know?
Gotcha.
Or maybe you want, and maybe you have a space and you want rooms for the different level of holders of in your community. And so based on how much of a token they hold or how many NFTs they hold, you know, they have access to these different rooms. So that's something we're working on right now, which I'm really excited about, because I think it'll just provide so much opportunity for communities to be creative, you know. And then as part of that, we're hoping to launch, well, not hoping, we have the development pretty much completed for a peer-to-peer NFT marketplace. So there's been a lot of talk. Well, in my circles, there's been a lot of talk about the NFT marketplaces because they generally charge a broker fee. And sorry, is my dog just licking a water bowl? Hey.
That's all right. We're pet friendly here.
Okay.
I've got two running around. You might have heard them barking earlier, so it's all cool.
But one of the things that David Schwartz talked about at XRP Vegas was removing the middleman, and obviously, I believe that is what we are doing here by implementing communication between wallets, but also, we've approached a lot of the bigger NFT marketplaces on XRP Ledger, and we basically said like, hey, with a couple lines of code, you guys could add a button to give people the ability to communicate with these owners of these NFTs. And they essentially told us that it wouldn't be good for their business model because people could just circumvent their royalties, or not the royalties, but the broker fees. So
Interesting.
It makes, I guess it makes sense, but like, it just tells me that it's a side of the ledger, or a side of crypto probably in general, that's probably going to fizzle out soon, once utility starts to come alive. And so we believe that, trading NFTs should be like trading tokens, where, there's really no, like, if you can communicate and who you're trading with, there shouldn't be a broker receiving any cut, So we're creating a widget that acts as an NFT marketplace for your room, so that we're we're basically showing you all the NFTs that are available in your room that you're in, and so that you can trade with the people that you're already in the room with. And so because we're doing that, we're just using our M credits to monetize the NFT trading, right? So we're still using a brokered mode approach. And like, if you look at the transactions on the ledger, you'll see there's a three wallet way of doing it. And the only reason we're doing that is because it is actually safer. If something were to happen between wallet A and wallet B, it's just safer to have a third wallet to catch things in the middle. The difference is that you'll see on the broker's transactions, there's no broker fee on the actual transaction object. And so we removed that.
You guys are creating a free environment, an actual peer-to-peer environment without anybody in the middle collecting any fees, which intrinsically is what crypto was about innately at its foundation. Phenomenal.
The only fee that's collected, right, is the royalties that are set by the issuer of the NFT, which you can't get away from, and then the network, the gas fee, like, that's it. And then, we are still working on the price model of M credits. Like, I know the way the broker fees work. The larger the purchase, the bigger the broker fee, obviously, because it's a percentage. But I kind of want to just do a flat fee, because we're just tracking engagement. So just because you're making a big purchase, that doesn't make the engagement more valuable, to me at least. It's just you're still just clicking your mouse. So so I think we'll probably end up going with a flat fee for all trading related actions, just to keep it simple. And then if for whatever reason we have to adjust in the future, we will. But that's the idea. But I want to roll that NFT marketplace, the peer-to-peer marketplace, I want to roll that out with the token gating together, so that communities can come in, set these rules, and then also have the NFT trading built in at the same time, so they can kind of start creating those many ecosystems around that. But after that, that's when we want to start working on the rewards and getting that solidified. And we have a partner company called Nexus who they actually they're they're a Ripple partner, I believe, or they got an accelerator grant, one of the two. Either way, they're better off than we are in terms of of what they can do development wise. And so they're helping us out with the reward engine. And so that should be pretty simple. It's mainly going to be, we just have to create the interface on this website and then connect it with their system that does the automatic rewarding, right? So we just basically have to tell them who gets rewarded and how much. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah,
Nice.
That about covers everything that I had. So if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Yeah, one question. I know that has popped up. A couple of people have asked me a couple of times. I don't know if we talked about an actual app in the Apple Store or the the Android store or whatever, Google Store, should I say?
So
is that on your roadmap, do you think?
Absolutely. The thing with a mobile app is that with crypto, Apple is very finicky. And so there's a couple things. There's a couple variables involved with the mobile app. It's time consuming and expensive, and we're very small and not well funded yet. So if any of those things,
it's coming.
If those things change, a mobile app is definitely top priority, because I myself am a user of Textrp on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I will let you in on a little secret that it doesn't bother me that people know anymore, because we fixed it. So there are some mobile clients. So what we use at Textrp is called the Matrix Communication Protocol. And we basically we have our own home server, which is the back end for all the communication. And we run our own client, which is this UI that you see on the web. Well, you can connect to our home server from any Matrix client. And so you can download a Matrix client mobile app.
Okay.
And then connect to our home server by basically, without being any more cryptic than I'm already being, when you go to log into one of these Matrix clients, they give you an option to pick your own home server. So like it'll have a list of predefined home servers, because the beauty of this is decentralized communication. So we run our own home server. We may in the near future run more than one home server. Let's say we run a home server for Solana, a home server for Ethereum, and those home servers are federated, so they can actually all talk to one another. So you can have an XRP wallet talking to a Solana wallet now. And so that's coming potentially, right? So that's just the possibilities of this technology that we're bootstrapping essentially with Web3. So to kind of get back to the mobile app, there are mobile apps that you can use these existing chat rooms that you already have right now on our home server. You can use them for like a smoother experience. The only thing you don't get is the ability to buy more M credits. You don't get the in-chat payments, and you don't get the widgets.
So Mike, you had mentioned that I think you said you had fixed it. Did you fix the capability to be able to utilize the Matrix client to log into the home server, or did you fix it?
Sorry, I said I fixed it. I fixed the concern about people knowing that they can.
Okay.
So in the past, you would be able to use a different client than our own, and basically circumvent the M credit usage.
Hmm.
But now, no matter what client you're using, when you're sending messages, it's still using up your M credits. So that was kind of just like a
gotcha. So
yeah.
just to clarify, so it's funny because you mentioned the Matrix client, because somehow when I was onboarding and all this, somehow I got to the Matrix client.
Yeah.
And I was messing around with it, but obviously, so to get to the home server though, are you just putting in the URL that is currently in the URL here, or are you actually putting in it?
The home server is the address at the end of your username. So if you click on your Z in the chat or up there, either one, and then we'll probably want to blow it up bigger. So if you go to all settings, all right. So right here, you can see your user ID underneath your profile there. It'll say synapse.textrp.io. You see that?
Yep.
So after that colon there, synapse.textrp.io, that's our home server.
Okay.
So if you go up in your browser, if you look up, just look up Matrix clients. And yep, that page there. These are all open source clients from Matrix. Okay. Some of them, like Element X, has a really clean iOS app that actually I use it. I'm not going to deny that. I use it, but only for chatting, right? Because if I want to use any of the other features, I jump on the web app. But
yeah, so this is interesting. I'm so glad you said this, because I started playing with this and I'm like, there's got to be, I'm going to use the word backdoor. Backdoor is not a good term in our world.
Yeah,
I know that. But I'm like, there's got to be a way to connect this. So this is where, and I actually got to this page and I started digging around. And
do you mind if I show you so that you and your audience can see? So if you if you pick one of the web ones, just to keep it simple on the web, Element is actually the people that created the version of the client that we are on. So they have a really polished, nice new version of Element that you can go to now. Go to the browser one. So they have a React Native. I think it's React Native, but basically it has like a Windows app. It has an Android app. They have all the apps, but they also have 500 something contributors. So, all right. So right here where you are being asked to, what's it say? Host account on. Yeah. So this is where you would edit that URL.
Okay.
And then you would put in
this. Let me grab this guy here.
All right. So all of the identity provider information is configured on our home server. So what's crazy is when you hit continue here, it's going to take you to a login screen that's going to ask you if you want to log in with Zoom. You see that button there?
Yep.
I need to figure out how we get rid of the username password option, because we don't even offer that. But so yeah, you would do this here just like you would on our client. And then once you're done with this, you're in there and you have all the rooms like you do, and you'll have to verify your session, using the same key and everything. But, that's just the beauty of this is, it's not like a one size fits all type of situation. You can keep your chatting ability across these apps between wallets, but you just kind of lose the ledger features. And so, but we really just care about tracking the engagement. So whether you do it on another client or not, as long as you're doing it through our Synapse server, it doesn't matter.
Gotcha. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Can I hit X? Because I don't know. I don't have my key loaded. I don't think.
Oh no, you're fine. We don't have to continue through this anymore if you don't want to. that mainly I just wanted to show where you update the home server. But hey, yeah, look, you're in.
Yeah, no, that is phenomenal. And I'm so glad you said that because I'm at work many times and most of us live on these devices, right?
Yeah.
So I've got a little I've got the browser opened up and I'm trying to get into, through a browser on there, an application. That's why I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'll be using this tomorrow.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
definitely look up the Element mobile app because it's the same thing here
Okay.
that you're seeing on this web app right now, except the mobile interface is very clean and well done, But it's something I aspire to build something similar in the future. But yeah, we basically we took an old version of this client that they have here, one with a license that kind of allowed us to do whatever we want with it.
Gotcha.
But it's definitely clunky, and it's
Okay.
probably clunky by design so that, we feel inclined to upgrade to their nice polished new version. but hey, maybe one day,
Yeah, there you go. Yep. But so there's an option, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on a mobile device, you can use the Element app or any of those apps that you can go back
Any
to the other,
Matrix client.
free
Yep.
Matrix client. You can freeze the video there. If you want to utilize your phone, it may give you a cleaner experience on a mobile device. But as Mike said, generally, if I'm sitting here at the office, I'm on the desktop using it, and it gives you all of the full capability and options. Is that a correct, clean way to say it, Mike?
No, that's perfect.
Well, phenomenal. Is there anything else we didn't hit, Mike? I mean, one time when we first started, there's also a video client in here, widget, I believe it was.
Yeah, you can. So yeah, you can video call. You can the tap to call and video call. They actually ring on the other end, right? So,
Yep.
if you and I both have the NFT, well, actually, I found a bug where if I video call you and you don't have the feature NFT, you can answer it.
Oh, really?
But you can't initiate a call. And then I think I found a bug where if you miss an audio call and you don't have the NFT, you can't answer it, but you can return the call. There's like an option to return the missed call, and you can return. I'm like, hey, come on, guys.
In the video that I was talking, I think it's Jitsi. Was it Jitsi?
Oh yes. So there's a widget. If you open the widgets panel, and this is kind of like while we're in beta, and we're like we have our feature packs, but it's not like a main area of monetization. So there's two ways. You can click that info circle, the top right. Yeah, you can click that where it's room settings, and then we can go. There's the widgets.
Oops.
Sorry, I said room settings.
That's okay.
Go to the edit widgets at the very bottom, and then the Jitsi widget is right there.
The Jitsi. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a teleconference. So anybody in the room can join this, and this is not token gated. So this you can use this if you want to have a group call with your community.
Yeah.
But the feature that's token gated is just individual one-on-one calls, right? So
right. No, fantastic, man. Very excited again. And I see the roadmap of this and where this is going to grow, and your guys' future is absolutely bright. And then I appreciate you spending time this evening away from the family, away from the dog and everything else, and being able to walk through this, because this is where we're going, ladies and gentlemen, and this is really the future with Web3. And you saw in here just the capability, the integration within XRPL to be able to send money back and forth. That's the seamless transition that we want to get to in the future. And Mike and Textrp and Will and those guys are working hard to bring this experience to us. And I'm glad to be able to try it. And I will tell you, Mike, Mike's got a full-time job, but if you reach out to these guys, they are immediately going to get back in touch with you as soon as you can. They'll spend as much time with you as they need to. I think, Mike, our first collaboration was an hour, and Dumb Zip was asking crazy questions, and but the customer service is my point, and I'm in the customer service business, so I know how daunting it can be.
Sure.
But his patience and just walking me through the applications and stuff was absolutely top notch. So if you guys are a community out there and you're looking for an environment, and yes, this is on the XRPL, but it doesn't matter if you're an XRP maxi or not. And you heard him say they're going to integrate across multiple platforms in the future, and that's on the roadmap, which is very exciting to hear because I'm not a maxi in anything, and we just it's crypto in general. Digital assets is where the future is at. And again, just appreciate your time, Mike. Any closing remarks or anything you'd like to say to anybody?
No, man, I once again appreciate you for giving me a platform to share Textrp and everything we have to offer. And like you mentioned, I have an open door, open DMs. So if you on X, I'm at LurkyDev. So if you have any questions at all, you can reach out to me directly. And Textrp SMS is the is the main Textrp account, and you can reach out there as well. But if you connect on Textrp and you want to reach out to me on there, I'm more than happy to answer questions on Textrp as well. So any way you can get a hold of me, I'm happy to talk.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Guys, get out there, check this out. And if this is the first time you've experienced it and seen it, don't be like I'd heard it months ago. And again, I didn't pay too much attention to it, and that was my mistake. Get out there, learn. These guys are phenomenal, and the future is bright in this environment without a doubt. And again, phenomenal collaboration environment that if you have a community, or if you don't have a community, or you're looking for a community, as Mike said, you can go out here, search the public rooms, join Zips Tips Crypto. We're out there to collaborate as well and just continue the conversation. So in this journey, when we get to the end of it, which I believe is going to come very soon for many of us at the end of this year, I've been spouting Q3, Q4 is going to be absolutely exciting, but we want to be able to resonate with the folks that are like-minded out there. And this is the perfect opportunity and place and space to do that in. But again, Mike, appreciate your time tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, Zip is out.